Now I am going to talk about the book on practical applications of Nadi Astrology. Now this book was written a lot years later, nearly at about 12, 13, 14 years later, and it was published by Vani Publication. K.N. Rao of Bharati Vidya Bhavan had published this book. Even till today, this book comes on the top 10 rankings of the book which is being sold by them. This was a breakout book in Nadi Astrology. It was a very, very different book in Nadi Astrology. Why? Because earlier the transits are seen from the moon. Paladipika states very clearly, transit has to be seen from the moon, and that was the thing which was used. In Nadi Astrology, the transits are seen from the Lagna. That is the key point. Now in this book, elaborately the Saturn transits are given from the Lagna and also from the Jupiter and from Rahu Ketu. Now there are many astrologers who do not know to use the Rahu Ketu transit. Many people only rely on the Jupiter transit, and many people try to rely on the transit from the Chandra Lagna, which invariably goes wrong. So please understand, this book elaborates about the Nadi transit. And also in the introduction, we have talked about how somebody has checked me. Somebody has returned from Switzerland and he had asked me to predict, and I had done a prediction and he had said all the things were correct and appropriate. Now this book is so comprehensive. By getting an approval from the university, somebody was doing a research on Nadi Astrology. They wrote to me and I wrote to them the success, the prediction about him. He said it's correct, 95% accuracy. The second part of it is the Nadi technique can be applied in any horoscope. It does not really matter whether you can apply it in your horoscope, whether you can apply it in the X horoscope, Y horoscope. Many people have come back and told me your Nadi technique on transit is mind-boggling. It's accurate, it's stupendous, because it keeps on, we are able to replicate the technique. Normally in the Nadi astrology things, people try to mug up the sutras, people try to mug up everything, and that they try to use it again and again. This book is not like that. This book, you can apply the Nadi transits anywhere to any horoscope and you can come with a stunner prediction. The second part of it is we have given for every Saturn in first house, Saturn in second house, Saturn in third house. Like that, it is being exhaustively given. There is no other book on transit which will be very, very helpful to you. There are many books on the market. Maybe on the transit part of it is very less, but it cannot be used. Many people come back and tell me, I am very confused about using the technique. Can you simplify it? Transits are the simple principles, and it has been time immemorial used in the Nadi astrology books. You can read the Saptarishi Nadi, you can read the Bhrigu Nandi Nadi, you can read any Nadi across as a person. It is being used comprehensively by the sages. The second thing is, it is not it is probably an innovation by me based on the traditional text what I have written. Many people have not read the original Nadi text. They try to copycat it from another thing. It is also copied by a person by name Satyamma Bharadwaj, who copied this book exactly on a word-to-word basis and tells it is being taught by my guru. All all rubbish. The book has got published afterwards, and also the Brihut Saral Padyati. There are many people who claim with the Brihut Saral Padyati, it is nothing but these transits were copied. For example, Jupiter in the 12th house, what is it they will write? But where did they get this original knowledge? It is from this book. I can authenticate and say about it, this book has been copied by some of the biggest people, including A.V. Sundaram, who shamelessly came and told me when the book was published, it should not be shown to anyone, and he went ahead and used these principles as Nadi Astrology along with Saptarishi Astrology, and he went on to take a class, and he claims to be one of the biggest astrologer. Unfortunately, he passed away very recently. He also had copied from this book across, and also this book exhaustively talk about other Nadi techniques. For example, how to read a horoscope from the Karakas. Saturn is a Karaka for the work. Jupiter is a Karaka for the children. How different houses are used for the Karakas. Saturn 8th house will tell longevity. Saturn 10th house will tell about work. Saturn's 3rd house will talk about hard work. Mercury 3rd house will tell you about communication, laptop, cell phone. Mercury 5th house will tell you about your education part of it. So this is a very exhaustive book which is used on the principle of Bhrigu Nandi Nadi. We are not copied it from R.G. Rao. R.G. Rao had written a lot of book. In fact, one of my friend by name Kaushik Prasad asked me, how do we predict for the ailment? I said, put Rahu as the Lagna and see the planets. You will be able to get it exhaustively. He was so impressed by that. He published it in Astrology magazine along with my name across, and they were very, very happy about the entire thing, and it got published and we got so much of review about it. The other point of it, it talks about ages in the Nadi Astrology. 0 to 9 is Sun, 9 to 18 is Moon, 18 to 27 is Mars. Like that, they are able to predict based on the position of the planet. Like this, there are many worked out examples which has been given to you across. Remember, this book has been published more than, let's say it was published close to 2006. It has been more than 14 years, and the book has been conveniently copied by many people without telling the original source. This is the original Nadi Astrology book. That is why it has put as practical applications of Nadi Astrology. The preface is written by none other than K.N. Rao, who had written an introduction about this particular book across. And of course, this has been a book which is a classic, which will be remembered time immemorial because it talks exhaustively about the Nadi Astrology principle. In fact, you have a page where Karakas and different applications are given across. So remember to use this book. But if you have a difficulty, call me up, fix an appointment even through WhatsApp or video calling or Facebook. You fix an appointment, talk to me about your chart. I would be glad to help you across. There are many people who have applied this and came back and told me it is fantastic, it is wow, it is very good, it is remarkable. Like that, I have had a superlative explanation from different people across. Unfortunately, I have not had the time to promote this book. So if somebody buys a book, please do tell them about this Nadi Astrology book. It is a practical application. Remember, the title itself is so clear that you can apply it. There are Nadi books which are written, there are a lot of horoscopes which are given, and people are not able to use the technique. You buy the Bhrigu Nandi Nadi R.G. Rao, you cannot use it. Whereas this book, you can use it. 100% you can use it. You can check your horoscope. You can look at the events and correlate with the transit of Saturn, Jupiter, and Rahu Ketu across. This is such a book book that it will be like a copy in the library. It is a must-have book. It is not because I have written. I have applied this book so many times and have come stunning predictions even in mundane astrology. Many people are not aware that it can be applied in the mundane astrology. I had applied it even in mundane astrology, and it was one of the biggest prediction on Sri Lankan war based on the planetary Saturn transit. I had made a prediction across. So please understand, this book is of immense value to you, and we are not using the amsas of the Nadi Astrology, the 150 amsas. People talk about it using the past dead heroes horoscope like that of the Hitler and all that particular thing. Especially the Delhi astrologers are very, very famous for using it, and it is like Sanjay Rath who talks about amsas. There is no amsas. It has direct application on the transits and direct application on the karakas, and you can make a stunning predictions based on that. And remember, it is easy, it is exhaustive, and it has covered all subjects across which you can use it across. We are not fibbing, we are not talking about as a theoretical thing. Since my practice was heavy and I did not have the time, I had never promoted this book in a major manner. Now I am promoting the book because it will be useful for many people, and many people will find it very, very exhaustive into their life across. And therefore, if you want to buy the Nadi book, if you want to buy a book which has been useful to you without any slokas, without any mumbo jumbo, without any namby-pamby, this is the book which will be very, very helpful to you as a person. Buy this book, and you also have the classes in Udemy on the remedial part of it, which will also be helpful to you as a person. So I request you to buy this book and read hard content, and you will understand a great on the transits and how the Nadi astrology is read across everywhere in the world. Thank you so much. Off. போயிட்டு வந்துட்டீங்களா?